If you're an artist, even if you're not, have you ever thought about doing something later? Have you ever put off work and never come back to it? Have you met deadlines and worked hard before the deadline, losing the quality of your work even though you were able to do it every day calmly? If your answer is yes, you're not alone. I very much feel you. Congratulations! Let's be friends then. My name's Maxim, and it's not difficult for me to work on my projects. I don't dislike them, but indeed feel that I don't want to draw, even though that's one of the best things I've ever done in my life. Why do I like drawing but always put it off until later? This question inspired me to talk about it in this video. Get something you'd like to drink or something like snacks, and let's start the video. This problem is known, fortunately not for everyone, but unfortunately there are artists who suffer from this problem, and so do I. I don't even know how to describe this problem correctly. Some people might ask questions, why don't you do this if you like it? Or why are you so slow and not making a lot of progress? You might think they're logical and reasonable, but in actuality, these questions are killers of your progress too, because instead of concentrating on work, you get tons of judgments. The underlying issue is, of course, procrastination. That's it. The problem is tackled, but what if I tell you that it's not that simple? The problem is not tackled. We should resolve it. Any procrastination is not your laziness and of course not your fault. And that's where we should start from. So what is procrastination? A lot of internet resources say that procrastination is the act of putting off something you planned to do, usually by doing something safe instead. And so what? It doesn't answer our questions, does it? It turns out that procrastination is sort of a mechanism of our brain to protect us. From who? When we think about work, we think it's too difficult, challenging, and we can do it later when we are ready. So eventually we just put them off, and it keeps going until our deadlines. And also, it turns out that the more you care about things you do, the more you procrastinate, which is surprising because the fear of failure keeps making you think you should wait until a better moment. And now that's crazy. People tend to be lazy sometimes, and laziness is not about not wanting to do anything at all too. If you're an artist, like me, you're absolutely allowed to be lazy sometimes. I say so. But I would say creative people that we artists are tend to have a higher risk of catching procrastination and everything that comes with it. Because it's some sort of a depression if a person just endlessly procrastinates, which is so true. So I carried out my own research about procrastination and how people try to avoid it. So let's see how many answers I got. Only one person answered. They answered, I don't really want to do it because it's stressful, but I end up doing it anyways. So apparently people don't avoid it, huh? But there were some researchers in 2007 which say that around 20% of adults procrastinate chronically, 50% of college students procrastinate in a consistent and chronic manner, 75% consider themselves to be procrastinators, and 80% to 95% of college students procrastinate. But that's 2007, I think things are worse nowadays. What about procrastination among artists? It turns out that artists tend to be perfectionistic and afraid of failure, just as not artists are, but also there's a so-called fear of an empty paper or a white page syndrome that also causes some sort of anxiety to artists, and they don't draw because some of them are afraid to start and fail. Can we consider it a procrastination? In my opinion, we can. Because it also happens to me, and sadly, I have this kind of fear too, so I know what it's about. I literally can't stop drawing a new piece because I think if I start, I might ruin my expectations. So it's better to do it another time. It doesn't always happen to me, and it's not the only reason for procrastination for sure, but it's definitely one of them. If something from this is familiar to you as an artist, let me know in the comments, because it'll be very interesting to read about your experience, and I can tell what happens to me. You need to know the way things happen. I procrastinate not only when I want to draw, which is actually fine. I guess I procrastinate with learning English. It's not my native language and I obviously have to learn it more. With other studying, chores, working out, shopping and cooking, which sometimes becomes irrational and so destructive for me that my body might go without any food for days. It's horrible how a simple task such as preparing food can be so difficult for me to start that I don't even eat. But food is one of the most important human needs. Then I had some thoughts about it and I ended up as a true nuclear war in my brain. I thought maybe I don't have enough discipline. Maybe I go too easy on myself and I should be more strict and do more stuff every day, but the results of my actions weren't as satisfying as I thought they would be, surprisingly. In fact, I started to procrastinate more and more. I would watch 30 videos in a row on YouTube and then think that I really should stop doing it and finally start working on a piece that's been standing on my easel for weeks in my room. And then I just play the 31st video. It's literally so annoying, it kills my progress, it kills my skills. Oh, I just noticed, it's such fun. There's the word kill in the word skill. It cannot be a coincidence. And most importantly, it doesn't let me post something on the internet. I haven't done long videos for my channel for a long time. It's awful. I'd been trying to upload reels and shorts at least once a week while working every day and it killed me. It killed me. Well, actually, if there were some results from these videos and I gained followers, I would continue drawing and uploading them on the internet, but you know how the algorithm works. I barely got 100 likes on Instagram, which is nothing on the modern internet, but I still love and praise every person that liked my videos, though. You are the best. But it just killed my confidence in my ability to gain some attention in social media, as social media is literally the most important thing for an artist nowadays. And as a coincidence, my drawing life goes even worse than ever because I barely draw once a week, and when I do, I feel that my skills died. They just died. They're dead. I still remember the time I was drawing every day, how much confidence it gave me and how much skills I lost. I literally hate it because I spent so much time practicing a lot of stuff, anatomy, coloristics and more, but currently it feels like I lost everything that made my drawing so confident. If you have the same problems, you might understand how important it is for an artist to gain followers, get enough feedback, comments, likes, because who are you without an audience? It kind of feels like you're speaking to a wall instead of people, and I thought about it a lot and I concluded that social media was never a perfect place. And you probably know that, but it's important to understand. What I think is that things like Instagram really tell us that people should be perfect, at least it used to, not so many years ago, but because of that, I still get the feeling that if I even do imperfect art without even posting it, I am a bad artist. Like, I'm not allowed to say I'm an artist at all if I do imperfect art. It's not that Instagram is bad or something like that, Facebook, Twitter, where people also surf the internet. What is bad is people who always appear on Instagram, because you can't imagine how many crazy, evil people are on the internet. I have a friend of mine who's just like me, so tired of the internet that she can't even post something there without thinking it's useless. But that's usually a sign of a low self-esteem, but I got a healthy self-esteem. How can something go wrong, you might ask me? Well, I don't know. If I only knew. Everything's very unpredictable in your life without therapy. And by the way, there could be such an amazing integration of a psychological service if I was popular enough. But as you see, I'm a flop, so no followers and integrations for me too. Bruh. Now when I think about it, I also procrastinate not only with drawings but with music too, because as you know, or maybe don't know because I'm flop, I write music and sing songs. I recorded my third EP album and I haven't mastered tracks yet, even though they're ready for mastering for about 5 months. Yes, it's ridiculous how I can't just do things for almost a half of a year, and that's all because of my procrastination or depression. Whatever it is, I'm not content at all. You know, it's even funnier when you know that I've procrastinated in writing this script text for this video because I basically spent too much time thinking about what I should write about, and I ended up writing about things that kept me procrastinating. Genius! It's not even funny in a positive way. It's tedious and not professional. But I'm not a professional YouTuber. I just can't seriously expect a lot of feedback if I don't do something more interesting than this, but once again, I think it's okay. I'm not a professional YouTuber. In fact, we're watching a speed paint video. It's not a problem. So back to procrastination and how to overcome it. Usually, articles on the internet advise us to overcome procrastination by breaking large tasks to tiny and use any of time management techniques. Then you have to stay motivated by productive reasons, which are studying, working, and other reasons that lead you to positive, productive, satisfying feelings and actions. As these reasons less likely cause fears of failure and so on, which is controversial actually. Also, you have to ask yourself what you feel and what emotions cause procrastination. It all really sounds pretty simple, but as we know, it might be slightly more difficult than we expect. I personally would like to go to a therapist to talk about it, and I recommend everyone going to a therapist. If you feel that something's wrong, you should go, because procrastination that happens regularly cannot be something harmless. Okay, so now it's time to talk about this picture, because you probably have no idea what it is. I drew a Greek statue-looking person with some sort of a philosophical look. I tried to do a nice flower, but it is what it is, sadly. I actually don't know what moment of a speed paint is currently playing, but I can show you what I wanted to paint and you can watch what I eventually did. It was supposed to be some sort of an aster flower of a pink-red shade, but then I realized I don't know what they look like from this angle, so I just drew something which is not clear what it is, never mind. And you can see a ribbon, which by the author's idea is supposed to symbolize a plant torn from its roots, demonstrating how people are egoistic in relation to nature. The ribbon around the hands is supposed to symbolize the constraint of a person in their careless attitude toward nature. And based on all the above, we can conclude. Stream the song by a Welsh Greek singer-songwriter Marina Poach the Poison. I think I've already done a pretty big discussion about this all, so I'll edit the video so that it ends by this moment and you can see the final picture. If someone is still watching this video, I hope you enjoyed your drink and snacks, and this video too. and tell me in the comments if you liked this piece. Also, you can suggest different topics or kinds of arts I can draw so that my next video will be uploaded in the near future and not like this video 6 months after the previous one. I'll be really happy to read about it in the comments, so you should read it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel because it is very important, and at least I'm not an AI slob. So every time you follow a real artist, you make this world better. Make sure you click thumbs up. Also, I write music, as I said before, so you can find my previous EP on my channel or in the description if you're curious about it. Also, I post a lot of stuff on my Instagram, so you can watch it in the links below as well. I'm very much waiting for you on my Instagram page. And thank you for being with me today. See you in the next video. Bye!